Stanley, the Springer Spaniel. Why is he here? Because what we are doing is we're brushing up on his basics. Sit, stay, wait, come. All of the fundamentals that any well-rounded, obedient, well-mannered, sociable, polite, courteous pet dog should have, really. All the very basic bits and bobs. But his concern is that he pulls like a train. But different chat, different time. We'll move on to that. So, recall. Now, a lot of people don't make it high enough reward. When I say that, we have to give our dogs a very, very valuable reason to actually want to come back to us. Because you can imagine when we are out in the common or the park or the wherever, we are very, very quickly going to reduce or be reduced in value. Other dogs, squirrels, magpies, kids on swings, football. There's 1,001 other distractions that we have to contend with when we are out and about in a public place. So therefore, right from the offset, unless we give ourselves value and keep ourselves elevated in these dogs' little universes, we are always going to be finding it a challenge to overcome in the excitement stakes with the squirrel, with the magpie, with the kid on a scooter, whatever the reason may be. So what we need to do is we need to initially teach the dog the value in the command. So at the moment, Stanley doesn't really see any benefit in the word come, because every time he's heard it, it's like, whatever. So when his owners have gone, Stanley, come, he's gone, why? The squirrel's better. The magpie's more fun. See ya. And he's off. So we need to reinforce the value of that word. So at the moment, he hears come, he's like, boring, yeah. No relevance, no value, nothing whatsoever in my little life, in my little universe. We need to turn that on its head. And so he relearns or is revised or is taught that come is something of value. So every time he hears it, Stanley, come. Nothing. Come. Stanley, come. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because it doesn't have a value. So we need to reinforce that word, and it could be here, it could be come, it could be close, it could be heel, it could be any word that you want it to be. It has to have a value to the dog to make the right decision and the right choice and decide to return to you over chasing the squirrel. Because we've taught if he returns to us after hearing that word, come, it's going to be more beneficial, more exciting, more enriching, more rewarding, more positive, blah, 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 blah. The list is endless. So how do I do it? 1,001 ways of training a dog. We all know that. We've all got our own little methods. We've all got our own little idiosyncrasies that work for us, but that may not work for other people. We've all got little techniques and tips and stuff that we've been doing for years. And the reason why we've been doing them for years is because to us and the way that an individual person trains, it has worked. It has been positive. It has been effective. It has been a success. So there are a number of different ways of how to teach every little bits and bobs within the training space. How do I do it? Stanley, sit. Good. Now, I do it this way because it's got three different things. He's looking at me when he's heard his name, which means I've got his attention, I've got his engagement. He sits. So that's the first command we've taught him. Then we're going to, as you can see, we're going to feed in a wait or a stay. Okay, now later on down the line, you may not have to add a sit or a wait or a stay, because sit means sit. So sit. So I'm not going to tell him, or potentially down the future or that later on down the line, I'm not going to tell him to wait or stay, because sit means stay there. However, he's looking at me and I'm going to tell him to wait or stay just while we're introducing this new technique. Stanley, come. Reward. Okay, and the key thing here is that every time he has heard that word come, which is, as you could hear, is accentuated, he has been paid effectively for it. We'll try that one again. Stanley, here buddy, sit. I'm not going to tell him to wait or stay this time, just to see how he deals with it. Stanley, come. And reward. Good. So what we're over time teaching him is that come equates to a reward if he returns to us. Then what we do is we don't want to keep piling food down these little dogs' necks and for them working for food, not for the respect or the leadership that we're actually giving them. Then what we do is we phase the food out, and we've changed the psyche in his little mind of, oh, come means great things. The only way I'm going to find out if I get anything is if I go back. So then we call him back 5 times. We're only going to give him a food reward 2 or 3 out of those 5 times, because we want to keep him thinking, I may get something good. The only way I'm going to find out is if, guess what? I come back. Stanley, come. Trotting past the dogs in the kennels there. Sit. Good boy. And reward. Lovely job. Now again, as I always say, made a lot easier with food. We can hoist in a lesson a lot more quicker if a dog is food motivated. Every dog is food motivated. However, what you potentially may find, if you are working with a dog that you think is not food motivated, then we haven't added value to it. We're either giving him too much food throughout the day, or we're either giving him such a high value enriched food, because there's some lovely foods out there on the market today, which I would actually eat myself. So what we need to do is find the right motivator. If he came back to me and sat and looked at me and said, yeah, it may be a game, or it may be a game of tug. It may be just physical attention and praise. Yes, mate. Find the right motivator. So key things are, way I do it is I teach a number of different things. Sit, stay there, don't move, or wait. Then we create distance, we back away, like so. Sit, Stanley. Sit. Engagement. If he's looking at me, I know he's concentrating. I know he's waiting and he's going to be engaged with me. He's broke there, so let's bring him back. Sit. Stay there. Good boy. Come on. Good lad. Bring him back round. Stanley, Stanley, sit, stay there. Bit of distance and come. Good. And the more you do it, the more he learns he's going to get rewarded after hearing that word of command come. That will speed up. He will come flying back to you like a bullet out of a gun. Basic first initial steps of recall, how I do it. There are other ways. We're all aware of that, but that's how I do it.